Hey travelers, what's up? Chris here with another review. I'm very excited to come to you from the Kowloon side of Hong Kong, and we're gonna try the new Regent Hongkong. I'm super excited about this hotel because they just renovated the entire building for over $1 billion US. So I can't wait to see how that went and what we can expect on the inside. So let's go. This video is sponsored by our own website unmatchedvoyages.com, where you can find hotel and flight reviews, deals and promotions, destination reviews and much more. So click the link below or go to unmatchedvoyages.com to find out more. First up, let's start with the location. Hong Kong is basically separated in a southern island, Hong Kong Island, and the north, which is called Kowloon. And you can see it here already that the location is fantastic. It's on the Kowloon side of things, but very close to the water, and you have access to the ferry and all kinds of trains. And also the construction site to the right here that you see is already finished. It's a beautiful shopping center, so that's also a plus. The Regent was actually just renovated for $1.2 billion, and that also explains why the building from the outside at least looks rather old. It used to be an InterContinental hotel, and now it is completely revamped on the inside. And so from the outside, when you approach it, it still looks rather old school. To be honest, it's not the prettiest of all hotels, but that all changes once you actually get inside of the hotel. What you immediately notice when you come into the Regent is just how nice the lighting is. They love using these translucent materials. You can see it at this massive reception desk here with the cool screen and the animations behind. And they really did a fantastic job, in my opinion, to make this a super sleek, modern and still somehow comfy experience. The only thing I noticed is, since it is a revamp of an existing building, the ceiling height is actually not too high, and this will be also something I will point out later in a couple other spots. But for now, just enjoy this super sleek looking lobby. I think it looks stunning and I'm super happy with it. One thing to add is that the Regent did a fantastic job looking at the details. So everywhere in the hotel it smells nice somehow. There's always some nice ambient music going on. There's always very nice mood lighting. So in regards to the details, this hotel is really impressive, I have to say. And I love the color schemes throughout the building. So then after check-in, we went into the elevator with this really cool numbers pad here, through the windowless hallways, again a remnant of the renovation, but I think it still looks quite sick, and onto our room here on the 9th floor. Alright, so here we are. We got a little bit of an upgrade. We booked the smallest room, came here with a diamond status and got upgraded to a harbor view room with a moongate. And to show you what the moongate is, apparently something very special. First up, if you come into the room, you actually step into the bathroom, which is rather unusual. It's beautifully designed. You can see already the materials, the colors, the textures. It's gorgeous in my opinion. And here's also the very interesting sounding and looking moongate. We haven't tried it out yet, more on that later, but I think the idea is that at least when it's a bit darker, it lights up very nicely inside. You can close your door here, and it functions basically as a shower and a bathtub. So you actually have a bit of a space down here that can fill up, and then you also have a rain shower up there. And fortunately, even for tall people like me, there's plenty of room, so that's important. You also have refillable shampoo, conditioner and shower gel by Perricone MD. Nice brand, definitely. And of course a rain shower. I do like that everything has this kind of copper metal vibe. It looks very nice, and all the buttons have pictograms on it. You see that throughout the room everywhere. Besides the little toilet here, there's a bit of a wardrobe area. Unfortunately, you can see already with our 2 suitcases here, it gets a bit tough. You can put one up and then you have a bit more here to hang your stuff. It gets a bit tight with our suitcases. We haven't had any problems in other hotels, so I don't know. It's a bit tighter here, but not a big problem. You have, as I mentioned, you can see it here, and I show some more close-ups. You can control everything with these pictograms, so it's very easy to understand how things work. When you come in here now, this is the main room, and what a view it is. I have to say the harbor view definitely worth splurging on it, especially if it's your first time in Hong Kong, because this just looks fantastic. You have, besides this really big bed, you have this super long couch here where you can just flaunt around. You can look at the Hong Kong Island skyline, which is beautiful. I also like the materials here. You can see they use a lot of beige colors, warm lights, wooden tones, so it's very calming. It's not the biggest room in the world, but I think it's actually still really beautiful. Besides that, you have a little table you can work on. We also got a little bit of a card and some figs as a welcome present. I'm not sure if this comes with the status or if this is just for every guest. There is also on top of that a little present. This one definitely comes from the status and apparently is some egg rolls that come from their own Michelin-starred Chinese restaurant. So very nice here. Besides that, two more things. One is the TV, and it's absolutely massive and new. Again, this hotel has just undergone a really big renovation, so you would expect only the best of the best in terms of materials and appliances. And of course, you also get your usual Nespresso machine, you have tea, and you can see it here. It's actually quite a big selection of all kinds of amenities, including of course also the water here out of these glass bottles. So overall, I have to say, in terms of style, in terms of textures, in terms of design, it's really, really beautiful. We can't wait to see how the rest of the hotel works. Alright then, let's talk breakfast, which is at the Harborside Cafe. You can see it here. It has this fantastic view. You're sitting right next to the water, and this is where the breakfast will be. And I have to say, overall, I'm quite happy with the breakfast, albeit it could be better. So let me first repeat on the view. I mean, you can see it here. Basically, almost all of the seats are right next to these big windows. You constantly can see the Hong Kong skyline. If it's not completely foggy, you can see these big cruise ships coming by, which is really cool. And I also like the attention to detail. You can see the Regent's kind of teal or light blue color everywhere. And then now let's talk about the breakfast offering. And first I have to say the selection is really big. You have a wide selection of dishes, especially on the savory side. You can see here the fruits, which are a bit more limited, although I do like that they have strawberries and blueberries, which you rather see rarely in hotel buffets, I have to say. You can see it here though. I think the savory side and the salads, this is really impressive, and you have a lot to try. There's a big cheese selection. Overall, quite happy with that. Although I have to say that the quality, I think, could be better. Now, this is always a bit of a personal thing, but I have to say, partly from the presentation, but also from the taste of the fruits, for example, which were a bit mushy, and from the pastries that were sometimes a bit dry, it could be a little bit better. Nevertheless, I think it's still, complaining at a very high level. I think you can have a fantastic breakfast here. And we saw a lot of locals who actually came to the breakfast on for a Sunday brunch, for example, that were not necessarily hotel guests. So it seems to be very popular now and a kind of the go-to place to come to. And I have to say, especially the egg tarts, which are a specialty right next to Hong Kong in Macau, were really, really nice. The egg dishes could have been presented a bit more nicely. We are talking about a hotel that costs a couple $100 a night, so I think they could do a little bit of a better job here on the presentation side. But overall, yeah, I don't want to complain too much about the breakfast. It's very solid. Could be a little bit better, but you will still have a good time there. Besides the breakfast, there's many restaurants and bars actually in the Regent. You can see here the lobby bar that actually is also quite popular, although we did not try it. You basically get the same view as you get from the Harborside Cafe in the breakfast area. So it's quite nice. It was fairly popular, especially in the evening, for people to come and try out some of the cocktails. Okay then, let's talk about the hotel pool. Yes, this hotel has a pool on the 3rd floor, as you can see here. It is an outdoor pool. Technically it's heated, but we were there during March and it was quite a bit chilly, around 20 degrees outside. So we actually didn't try the pool itself, but there's something that you really want to go there for. Let me show you. First thing, when you come outside, you have to climb up a couple of stairs. It's very green, as you can see here. I think it looks very pleasant. The pool itself, you can see, is fairly big. You don't get the harbor view side. It is actually directed more towards the Kowloon city side, and it's also kind of sandwiched between the Regent Hotel building and the big new mall next to it. So it's not the prettiest area in a sense, although I do like how they styled it. I think in the evening it can look really nice also for some drinks, but as mentioned, at least during our time it was just way too cold, so almost no one was there. However, besides the pool, that was a bit chilly that you can see here, they also have several jacuzzis. Well, actually 3 that are kind of combined into one, as you can see here. And from here you can actually have a really nice view onto the water, onto the harbor. So it feels almost a bit like an infinity pool to some extent. You can actually lounge around in this jacuzzi. It's really nice and warm, and you can just watch the ship go by. You can watch some people down there. It's super nice, I have to say. The only downside is that it actually closes on sunset, so around 6 p.m. they close the pool. I don't know if it was due to it being March, but I think that's a bit short. That was a bit unfortunate. We also got to try out one of the bars in the region. It's called the Kura bar. Kura, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it actually looks quite stunning. When you come in the evening, they have this really cool looking bar counter, slightly translucent. Again, you will see this theme everywhere, and it just makes for such an interesting mood. It's quite gloomy in there. This is more of the bar area. We then actually moved over tables, and you can see here the super nice view towards the harbor side. And we actually wanted to try the food, which is supposed to be also quite good, and it was extremely popular. Now, it was Friday night, but for it to be just a recently open bar already, the word has spread, and it was extremely busy. Even at 10 p.m. I believe we came there. And you can see here the kind of views you get while you're eating. I think this is just absolutely stunning. And again, when it comes down to the detail, you can see these leather wrappings for the handkerchiefs with the little Q logo on it. There is some homemade bread that they baked with some garlic that was absolutely delicious. We also had a burrata and tomato caprese salad, which was really great. And afterwards, as a main dish, we opted for the lobster pasta. And I have to be honest, guys, this is by far the best lobster linguine that I've ever had in my life, and my wife said the same. So if you're there and you have the chance and you don't mind spending, I believe $60 to $70 for this dish, it is absolutely fantastic. So then let me draw here my conclusion of the recently renovated Regent Hotel in Hong Kong. Again, from the outside it looks quite old, and unfortunately due to the renovation the ceilings are a bit low and you have these windowless hallways. It's totally fine, just a minor point that I want to highlight. I believe that you should definitely go to the Regent if you are in Hong Kong. I think the level of detail and excellence with the textures, the lighting, the mood, the smells, the scents, it's just outstanding, and we had such a great time there. The rooms are fantastic. I think it's really well thought through. Maybe except for the moon gate, if you see it on the website, maybe skip that one. I don't think this is super necessary. But besides that, the restaurants, the bar is fantastic. You have the outside pool area. And of course, the location is also smack dab in the middle, in the center of Hong Kong. You have the ferry right next to you. They have multiple train lines, so it's super well connected. And it's just a pleasure to be there. And we will definitely go to the Regent again when we are back. If you had a chance to try out the new Regent already, then let us know in the comments below how your experience was. Really always interesting to hear your thoughts. And that's it from my side, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.